In a twist, it's got the mainstream media scratching their heads. A recent CNN survey of children has backfired spectacularly. The results? Kids across the political spectrum are showing a clear preference for Trump over Kamala. But it's not just about popularity. These young voices are delivering a scathing indictment of Harris's credibility. So what does this tell you about the future of our nation? And more importantly, what are our children seeing that so many adults seem to be missing? Well, patriots, let's talk about pain. We've all dealt with it. What if I told you there's a revolutionary way to find relief without dangerous pills? Enter Conolidine, the natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. Pioneered by medical scientist Clint Winters, this 100% drug-free solution has become the go-to for over 1 million Americans and countless pro athletes. It works by optimizing your body's natural painkillers, giving you relief like you are in your prime. I was skeptical, but it works. So click the link below to watch Clint's report and access this game-changing product for less than $1 a day. Don't let pain hold you back any longer. Out of the mouths of babes, they say, right? Remember that old show? They would ask kids questions. I think it was actually Bill Cosby. Wasn't it Bill Cosby that had that TV show? Well, I was browsing the news feed this morning, and these kids just kept popping up in the feed. And I'm looking for all these stories. I'm like, okay, what am I going to bring everyone today? What's going to be what's on the agenda? And these kids just kept popping up. I'm like, okay, all right, God, this is what you want me to send. This is what you want me to show. Well, here it is.
It'd be good for us to have a black woman as president for the first time in history. Yeah. But my vote's kind of still on Trump. It'd be
which one was
for us.
Okay, that's a little meme to wet your whistle. Here's another post. Benny Johnson, CNN, Democrat-leaning kids were about 9 times more likely to express negative emotions about Donald Trump than Republican-leaning kids were about Harris. Republican-leaning kids were more open to visiting a Democrat-supporting household. Listen to this.
Overall, the biggest finding, the children in the study were polarized, with what researchers called more extreme responses from the blue state kids than the red state kids.
Donald Trump, he did bad things. He's like Hitler.
He only wanted to be president so that he can just control everybody.
Trump is supporting January 6th now. I remember that January 6th was a bunch of Republicans believing Trump. I feel like they thought Trump was a god. People got arrested. I think one officer died afterwards. That was a big day.
The study found that these Democrat-leaning kids were about 9 times more likely to express negative emotions about Donald Trump than Republican-leaning kids were about Kamala Harris. Why might that be? Psychologist Ashley Landrum has some ideas.
So Donald Trump is a very polarizing figure, and it's very possible that the kids are reacting to their parents reacting to Donald Trump being a very different kind of political figure than what we've seen before. So do the red state kids hold as strong of attitudes? Well, not when we're talking about Kamala Harris. In part, that could be because they don't know that much about her.
Landrum was also curious about how kids saw their peers in the political divide.
So do you think that the kids that live in those 2 houses would be friends with each other?
They can.
They can?
There's no law breaking that.
It doesn't matter if you are different by skin color, or it doesn't matter if you are different by people. You can still be friends.
The study found that Republican-leaning kids were more open to visiting a Democrat-supporting household. The Democrat-leaning kids were about 5 times more likely to say they would not want to go to a pro-Trump house.
Would they be okay with you going over to somebody's house who is really supportive of President Trump?
No.
No? And why not?
Because they know that he's not like black people, so they will not be happy to see me.
Would your family let you go over to somebody's house who's really supportive of Donald Trump?
No.
No, they wouldn't?
No.
And why not?
Because, my mom and dad don't like Donald Trump at
all. Not a single bit.
Would you be okay going over to somebody's house whose family really likes Kamala Harris?
I think it'd be fine. It's just about the personality of the people.
Would your family be okay if you went over to somebody's house who really liked Donald Trump?
If I want to be real over here, so if I just went over there, I imagine be a good old argument or a fight. Maybe like a food fight or something.
A food fight or something, right? Well, this young boy really stole the show. What's the first word that pops into your head when you think of Kamala Harris?
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear the name Kamala Harris?
Liar.
I love it. I love it. But of course, the indoctrination of the parents down to the children that Donald Trump is Hitler is permeating the youth. Yes, as you heard it. But we do have some good news on the horizon here. Voter turnout is beating the cheat. We are going to make this too big to rig. Donald Trump posting a Daily Mail headline exclusive. Donald Trump opens up a big lead in our election model. The win odds 55 to 44. Donald Trump with a 10.6 lead over Kamala Harris. So out of the mouths of babes, right?
It'd be good for us to have a black woman as president for the first time in history.
Yeah.
But my vote's kind of still on Trump. It'd be good for.
And of course, Donald Trump is losing the African-American vote big time. So the wisdom of children has always been underestimated, but the CNN survey might just change that. These kids have cut through the political noise and delivered a verdict it's hard to ignore. But what does this mean for the future of our political landscape? Are we witnessing the birth of a new, more discerning generation of voters? We want to hear from you, patriots. What do you think these survey results say about the state of our nation? Share your insights in the comments below.